Waiting for my chromer to call me. They promised to call today, but haven't done so. I have some other chrome in with them and quotes for some other things, and I'm waiting for them to get back with me. This wheelhouse is repaired inside. Welds have to be ground. The new patch panel is on here. Not, I was going to say tack, but it's more than tack, so he's got it pretty much in. Fitting the stone guards, because if we're going to re-chrome the stone guards, they have to be fit properly prior. He has primed all this up inside here with an epoxy primer to prevent any further corrosion. And he's cutting and fitting the replacement panel on this side, which will go on shortly. I'm pretty sure we showed before that everything was finished inside and inside the trunk and so on. There's a variety of grinding probably yet to be done. Yeah, there's some grinding to do, but everything is installed properly. You will see that there's some daylight there. You should not weld the back panel to the body. That'll be seam sealed top and bottom. The holes you're seeing in the picture are prior holes. Take a look at that if you could. When you see the two in the way back, I believe one of those should be welded closed.
Oh, on the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
just kind of look them over, and they might be too large, so we may end up having to weld them, grind them top and bottom, and then re-drill them, because if it's notorious, people use larger screws.
You see them.
And then, well, then when you go to put the original moldings on, or a set of moldings on, the screws you're supposed to use just fall out.
Right.
You know. And these moldings are not cheap. Did we save and preserve his moldings?
Yes. Yep.
So we can polish his up and put them back on?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we may be, if you have to weld the holes shut, otherwise, we may have to drill the holes bigger in the moldings so we can use tiny bit bigger screws. That's okay. If it saves, you know, hours and hours of welding. But two holes like that are not supposed to ever be that close together. So
Yeah,
make one of them go away.
Yeah, they're on all of them.
So he'll be grinding this down and priming in here. He wants to get the body work done so that when he gets the body primed and stuff, he's not grinding and causing hot spots and burning any of the paint away or anything like that. So we'll get some shots later. It's coming along nice. Again, we'll get back as soon as we figure out what we're going to do here with the chrome and what that's going to run. Car is tipped up on its side, but the panel that you saw open up is on. They're fixing any little spots in here that they can. That'll all be ground down. A lot of grinding has been done already. There's a panel here that gets put in with a little air vent and drain. That's going to be done down there. There's a couple small holes in different places. We talked about this before. Try to save the customer to having to buy the whole top of the fender. These are all pinhole. Fender was so rusty that when we sandblasted it, all these pinholes have shown up. These up here, the metal's a little thicker where we put the new nose panel to it. We'll be able to weld those closed. These, the metal is so thin, there is no chance of welding or brazing. So what we're going to do is, this is all sandblasted clean. We're going to take an epoxy material and add some body to that in here. It'll strengthen the fender, and we'll put a layer of that on, a two-part epoxy, build that up, blend it in. Because out of fiberglass and epoxy stronger. And we have to do the same thing to this fender, but I don't think this one's as bad. You can see those are pinholes. There's 15 of them on the other fender. I think there's only a dozen or so under this one. There's still, the tops are kind of bad, so we'll clean that up. We'll get back next week. This is Friday, June 15th, 2018. Hours of grinding, some little panels we put in, a couple little holes to fill here and there, but primarily body's on, frame is on. Next week he'll start on finishing the body, getting everything ready, and then you'll be primering and painting the bottom underneath before you do the top, right? Okay.
Well, tomorrow I'm gonna come in and finish everything underneath and then
Okay.
prime or
Prime it?
touch it so that it don't rust while we do the body.
Okay.